know, just forming up around KSCERATO. Is there anything you want to see from FURIA here in the second map?
I just want to see that they come out of the gate and they play with a lot of confidence like they did in the early start of Inferno. Play with a bit more freedom, allow those risky plays to start coming through from Art, because it seemed that for him, when he started, or at least stopped going for those over-aggressive moves, that's when everything started to just go down the drain.
New SPs and Glocks into the pistol round. Liquid will be up on the CT side to start things off. FURIA. There's a half they could win in this particular map up. It would be the T half. So let's see them press forward onto Dawn and try and get this opening start up for their own right. They lost the pistol in the previous map up. Let's see whether this one will be the contraire. Stewie trying to look for that first frag. One player with his back turn. KSCERATO near those 2 kills at least, holding back in the back lines. Gets one frag. A Gushon towards on a second player, but not enough to get the kill towards him. So KSCERATO can triple up overall, and now will be left in a 1 versus 4.
A good pace coming through from FURIA, just getting those Glocks up close and personal, and KSCERATO just doing his own thing on those entries. 3 kills overall. Naf on rotate out from Secret. A perfect start in from FURIA.
Great opener for them, and you mentioned how the pistol win percentages have gone against them in the course of Pro League. Liquid, one that will go away against their favor here. So Naf might look for exits, might look to just take some of that Kevlar away. Can't see anything too significant in the terms of the clutch itself, however. So for FURIA, the case of winning that pistol and again getting off on the right start.
And including the start we had out in Inferno, Liquid in the round 2 breaks have not had a very easy time at all. 2 wins and 9 losses when they've been able to lose pistol and win that second round. So you start wondering to yourself, what is going to be the change-up going into this second with this force buy?
Well, scouting for Fallen will be coming out. I've seen the Eagle for Elige as well. UMP and a second scout for Stewie. So double snipers already. I don't think we saw much of that during the first map. So a bit of a change of pace from Liquid.
And trying something a bit more unique. And for FURIA, no SMGs coming out to this second round. So no real farm potential. Possibly just knowing to themselves, we need to convert. We need to keep pressure on.
AKs towards the outside. Fallen Scout trying to hold on for position. Just looking off to the left here. The garage entrance, hoping that someone makes their way out past the red box. He does land a tag on Yuri. Great timing, great shot, great stuff so far. Not going to continue his way forward here, try and catch this player off. Meanwhile, walk out towards Ram. Going to give Naf a bit of a kill in the first man and that second. Okay, hold on. Force Invest going well to get the man advantage. Trades involved for KSCERATO, but his teammates are so low and Art's going to fall for it. Elige now looking for the bomb carrier and he gets it as well. Oh no. You talk about how the conversions have looked awkward for Liquid, but they look fantastic in this one.
Jeez, what is going on there with FURIA? Missed util outside that Fallen just gets an easy tap with the scout, get the tag in, and then even just, how are they not trading Naf 1 for 1? In that sort of situation, 9 times out of 10, you're getting the first drop and picking up the kill onto Naf, and instead it just goes completely the other way. They take so much damage, Elige then wrapping in, out from lobby position, getting away with a couple of kills with that Deagle, and Liquid bounce back instantly.
Falls back into FURIA instantly as well. Fast out for KSCERATO with his Tech 9, desperate to get a kill in. He doesn't get anything out for it. Vinny can. Finding Grim with a 2 for 1. Stewie's still on top of the hut. Not being detected so far on the T-side line. Art caught on the outside. Naf gets his spray down. Stewie can land his kill. Yuri 1v4. Dropped in upon by the CT forces and really shouldn't have much left in this particular round. Nice out for Stewie, in fact, trying to go for a bit of a cheeky play. Ultimately doesn't work out for him as Naf closes it down. 2 to the start now for Liquid.
A good anti-rush nades coming out to the hut position, and just the awareness for Liquid that it's going to be something quite pacey. Up from top hut, they've just got eyes locked, the crossfires coming through, and FURIA, they can't get out. They can't even put themselves into positions of creating space on that upper bomb site and opening some sort of duels. Instead, it's just a mow down, and for FURIA, they won pistol. Now they've lost a couple in a row, and for Liquid, this could be them finding some early form on this city basis.
Oh, Fallen. Continuing the frags and impressive stuff from Stewie as well, following suit with the SMG. 2 kills to his name. Had a great MP9 sequence during the CT half and the CT conversions over on the first map, and will continue to do the same right here with the AKs of Elige chiming in, the M4 of Grim doing the same. And a 3-1 start for Liquid as we transition into the gun round. FURIA with a full AKs and a Galil.
Oh, we haven't seen Nuke come through for Liquid at all in the the Pro League. We did see it, however, when it came to IM Cologne. They picked it up against the big side where they put 13 rounds up, had T side of 7 rounds, and up against Mouse Sports as well. That was another one of the performances where 8 on the CT, 8 on the T. You start to wonder what the balance is going to be like for Liquid moving forward. Fury with another quick play.
This time Stewie's caught off guard. Art with the kill. Burns a little bit. Damage done to Vinny in the back lines. Grim catches Art back to 4 versus 4 and finds KSCERATO and Vinny. All sorts of backfire kills. A quadra, an ace for Grim. The Reaper's alive as Liquid gain 4.
Oh my goodness, what is that? That's the first ace from Liquid in the group stage. What a hold to come through from Grim. You're having a look at Vinny out from Heart and thinking to yourself, he might get 1, he might get 2, he's gonna get traded. He did not get traded at all. What a hold for the M4 and Liquid. They are just styling on them at this point.
Wow, what was an encouraging start has all gone awry for FURIA. And man, the Liquid look confident. I know it's not a top 10 team in the world they're facing, but I wouldn't want to be any of those squads in the playoffs wanting to face Liquid at this moment. Yes, they might not top the group, but they look scary. And if they channel this level of confidence and this level of performance into the playoff stage, this could be a deep run from these guys. The best I've seen Liquid look in a long time. Nades on. Gary caught back by Grim, adding more to his kill count. Vinny does find a knife kill on the leash going for the vent dive. And that bomb's still to make its way into the B site. Now still in dark. He's going to try to cut them off.
I just got to try and make sure that that bomb is not going down and that any more picks are coming through. Now for this lower bomb site, hasn't really given away his position. KSCERATO's got out to that observation window. What can they do with it, though?
Snaf drops the bomb. And Grim finds Vinny, all on KSCERATO, out towards observation window. And all the CTs have basically surrounded this position. They're just going to mop up what remains of the FURIA side. Claim 5 up for Liquid. This is dominant, and it continues to look dominant following suit from that Inferno.
Yeah, KSCERATO is just hoping for anything at this point. Another pick. They can be happy with the damage they've done so far. A Legion Stewie to drop. A knife even coming through for Vinny to give himself the extra kill bonus of 1,500. AK being picked up. Time is low. Does he just save onto the AK and Kevlar is also an option?
Probably what he goes for here. 2 seconds and no real way you can make this back. Haven't seen a CT extension to decon, so he'll keep the weapon in check. It will affect his money line to a certain extent. You can watch this Grim Ace one more time as well, just for good measure, in case you missed it. FURIA shutdown round that keeps him even further suppressed, and Liquid just brimming of confidence, really and truly. A fantastic setting from them at the CT half. FURIA back up on the guns at least. Can they change their fortunes?
It's just looking at the money as well, the CT side. There's so much money in the bank for them to start working with. McCree going to come through for Vinny. Now thinking about making an aggressive move. Some early util to an upper bomb site here for FURIA. They haven't quite committed with it as of yet.
Trying to force Stewie off the hut. And he's still up here. Nades on from Grim. Damage being done to Art and KSCERATO. Nicely done. Continuing the burst fire, the M4 in the back lines. Plays position so well so far. KSCERATO keeps looking with his eyes on. Fire back, flash forward of the CT players, and Vinny almost isolated Fallen's shoulder, but couldn't capitalize and get the full kill.
Now, with that smoke going down, he now knows that he's got ramp all to himself. Grim spotted one player out from vent, deals with him straight away. That's
one frag. Flashing out a closed vent, so when it forces players back into a position. A flashbang timed well from Gary. That was Vinny. 2 kills on the site. Not still aware of Sui's position, so he trades it to a 3 versus 3. Looks back at Marshmallow, but smoke back down. Yuri could get caught. Footsteps heard as the AWP of Fallen starts firing through that smoke. Can't get a secondary pick.
Oh, Stewie's actually going back up to the top of hut. You wonder if FURIA are going to start checking this again. They don't have a molly to put it down. And for Liquid, they might start driving them away out for a vent dive or into ramp.
And he made noise on the drop down. He did not make noise for the reface. Gary's stuck in behind them, though. How's he done that? No ideas at all. It's just like that. The whole round falls apart for Liquid. FURIA, all sneaky beaky like.
Oh, that is sneaky. Getting the knife in, following up with a double, and that's going to put a smile on their faces. Great play in from Gary, and for Liquid, just no idea about that play whatsoever.
Knifes in headshot, and it seems like that backstab has gotten FURIA their second. So positional advantage in this round, not even we saw it. FURIA at long last get something back at this. Felt like they had to put a lot behind that round to really get it together, though.
Must have been, what, the silent drop down from heaven? That must have how he got in. Yeah, that's a difficult jump to hit, to not make any sound cue like that.
Fifth still up for Liquid, still 3 rounds separate, still control on FURIA. Back up with the guns, trying to see if they can do some amount of damage. Molotovs running away at Naf as they force him off position. Same with a bit of damage done to Elige. Counter nades in from the Team Liquid side. Will try to stop the rushes once again, but they still have the rifles on the site itself. FURIA smokes on Molotov's back, looking like another upper hit to come in relatively quickly, but they're still spread out towards the default, and they will burn Stewie quite heavily here.
Just waiting to see if that volley was actually going to spread out to his position, and he just takes so much damage. Couple of bullets through the smoke, and he's done. Fallen looking for a trade back up from ramp. Liquid, they lose the first disadvantage.
Yeah, opener for FURIA much earlier in the round, and the man advantage for the execution. Grim still held to the back here. They counteracting this time. Not for Gary, at least dropping that bomb. KSCERATO is closer. Gets his responsive frag, and now 2 players up in heaven. Set now with a 3rd player actually on the retake. Krieg sees Fallen. Sprayers gets it together. Vinny capitalizes on the 2nd kill as well. Naf with 1 responsive. Seen up there in the rafters, and Vinny makes it a triple as FURIA find their form again.
Just the rotators getting caught off, all in the same position out from heaven, and FURIA just with eyes on, not getting sleeping at all. And for Liquid, money's getting to a state now where there's actually not really a lot of it. They're going to have to eco or lightly buy going into round 9. They can't really go down massively. They are going to do so. So Fallen's going to go in the scout. We're going to see a FAMAS out for Stewie. No kit to come through from any player on Liquid.
Finally worn down a bit on the economy state. FURIA been playing at the same inner default out the lobby position. Catch off players in the opening frags. Vinny, however, not so successful on the ramp. Naf, frag not even damaged up, and he continues to aggress pretty silently. Doesn't see Gary. He'll catch him with the smoke. Clears though. Fantastic shot from Naf.
Jeez, he's playing well, isn't he? Just out to ramp and having the coolest time in the world. Going back out to where he found that first kill. Does he may even make it a triple?
Not quite. Up there with a responsive frag. The AK involved. The scout now for Forden. Looks in. Is caught back around. Another headshot to the AKs. Dishing out the damage. 3v3 as the trades are good for FURIA. Is the site execution good as well? They're going to go down into B. Elige's already here. The winner's been popped out. Art catches the man. Gets a lot of damage done to him, but still gets the frag.
Liquid, very difficult position for them to be in. Even on the vent drop, they could get caught off by KSCERATO just holding the position. Gets dinked up in the process. There's so much damage done to FURIA, but it's still a 1v3 for Grim.
Trades are available and possible. Yuri is going to be the main concern. M4 will start sneaking in. Got to open up decon door, make noise. Not see them. No smoke for the bomb's position. It's out in the open. Burst fire. Try and hunt for them. Taps up. Trying to see if he can force him out. Burst fire continuing to try to catch these kills. Meanwhile, that 3rd player sneaking in from vents. Damage nades. All sorts of work being done as Art gets his kill. He closes out the round for FURIA.
Okay, now we're starting to see some goods come in from the FURIA side. Naf, great advantages to start off at ramp, and you'd have to imagine that Liquid are very frustrated with that. They had a 5-on-3 advantage. They lose those ramp players really quickly. Naf falls, the scout out from Fallen can't find anything either. Even the flash forward from Hell doesn't find any sort of pickback. And for Liquid, when you're on that kind of weaponry force-up and you have a 5-on-3, you can't really be losing the rounds.
Yeah, back to the Deagles for Liquid. Naf's on the scout this time. Not Fallen, not Stewie. Aiding the nades, the Eagles try and press the issue forwards here. Krieg in of Vinny's part. FURIA try to keep their eyes set into the entryway, expecting Liquid aggression, but so far none of it's come forward. They will finally Molotov Brim away from Hut.
It's all about adequate damage in a round like this for Liquid.
Yeah.
FURIA slightly further passive in this sort of round, and KSCERATO, a pick just presents itself.
Yeah, Naf hoping he could put that scout to effect. Now Grim's got it back in his hands, and he does put it to effect. A 13th kill for him with the headshot coming out. Deagle to Stewie, not quite as lucky. And Fallen also got to fall away. That USP is nowhere near Deagle potential. Grim still faces, going to catch both players off. Lined up, catches Vinny, but not quite the second man. KSCERATO right behind him, and not enough time to ready for the second kill. So it's all at release. 1v3, spamming away with the Deagle. Doesn't find anything of his own right. So 2 casualties for FURIA. Decent damage done by Liquid. Not quite enough to force a reset, though, so as the guns come back out, it's rifle time.
And they can be happy with the damage that they were able to provide themselves in that last round. Now getting the weapons forward, the AWP going to be coming through from Fulham without armor. M4's up for everybody else. No kit in play again. Something that Liquid haven't had a massive amount of in this first half is kits. And I guess it does come down to a lot of the post-planning positions that FURIA have put themselves in. It doesn't even seem like a retake could really be on.
Oh, out of the gates initiating a squeaky fast plays in. Elijah's going to spray through and dish out the damage enough for a kill. KSCERATO eventually gets down those vents in the vent dive position. Don't know if the CTs may have heard that. I don't see anyone trying to account for it down on the lower bomb site. Elijah actually boosted up on top of the garage entrance and looks on towards Silo. Expecting T-side presence, didn't see the heads of Vinny or Gary. Start to lean over, see them both. Perfect burst, perfect frag, another 5v3 for Liquid, and it might even extend to more.
Now they've got KSCERATO in for the quick vent drop. Elise just gets out of there so quickly, doesn't even allow a trade to come back. Now for KSCERATO, he can start sandwiching in and coming up from Secret to help the outside player. It all just comes down to how do they actually deal with Elise with him being this passive now?
Yeah, they were waiting for KSCERATO's backstab to come together. Elige might swing out the left and potentially not be ready for the man. His teammate's going to come in, and now they're going to realize that KSCERATO's there, so the plot has failed for FURIA. And the bomb's on outside as well. Elige caught off the player that had it. Gets a second kill on Vinny now, swings back to the triple. KSCERATO giving up enough of a shoulder to go to 23 points of health. Not quite dead yet. FURIA's also been seen here by Grim. That's an easy frag. And the methodical Liquid is back in business.
Just everything falling apart on that outside position. And I start wondering to myself, Jay, how does Elige isolate 3 1v1s and he's still at 100 HP?
Elige magic, I'm just going to put it down to at this point here.
Yeah, why not?
He's abracadabraed his way in with 100 points of health and he's secretly healed without us knowing. Incredible stuff from Liquid. Again, when these guys look good, man, they look good. Brim's a perfect example of that. Elige and Naf, obviously 2 players that were fantastic in the first map. Although FURIA might have made this one a bit more of a closer deficit by comparison to the startup here. Liquid still maintaining a lead above this T-half.
And when you think about some of the teams in Group D, Gambit, NIP, and Tropic, they rely heavy on their AWP player. And honestly, for Liquid, they haven't needed to rely on Fallen to have a massive amount of impact. It's been the riflers that have been so consistent across both maps. Lots of anti-rush nades going down to the squeak door position. Allegiance going into the vents, expecting KSCERATO to drop early.
Out of the smokes on the ladder. Just going to sit there for the time being. Try now look towards Secret, where Yuri could well be flanking the CT side. I'll make his way back outside instead. Smokes on towards the squeaky door from Stewie. Going to keep suppression involved, at least try to do so. Might not have caught the players over at open vents. Barry's going to get caught. Stewie drops down. What can he find in this round? KSCERATO finds Naf Stewie there with a responsive. Grim now repositioning to rafters. And this round, the first man could line up 2 more, doing a ton of damage, allowing Stewie to finish the job. And Yuri stands alone outside.
Yeah, the luck. And this is what is so unfortunate in the round for Yuri, is that he's got down into Secret. He's trying to work some sort of default and relying on some of the upper players to find the connections, and they just aren't able to do so. Triple kill again in from Liquid. And some of these multi-frag rounds aren't coming every so often. It feels like they're coming every round.
Every round for Yuri now. It's 1 round to clutch. Bomb is out in the open. No one's checking the hell position, not even the entryway to it. There's potential in him popping his head up and getting a kill, but The problem is everything else is a 1v3, and he knows as well as anyone his best bet is to probably save the AK. FURIA pummeled into submission round after round for Liquid. A 7th up to the CT board. They maintain this lead, and FURIA can't seem to keep themselves going, can't seem to jumpstart the engines again.
And this is 2 rounds in a row that we've seen saves just coming through from FURIA, which doesn't help the T-side economy at all. They're going to buy it down, try and see if they can put pressure back on for Liquid. We just saw that in the first map, once they were able to string rounds together and they gathered momentum, they just weren't being slowed down. And now, yes, we are getting to the late portion of this first half, but for Liquid, it is very possible for them to press themselves 9, even 10 rounds on the city bases.
Once again, a lead with a spray through to a squeaky door. Players trying to make their way into the vent side, but maybe pop their way out to the site itself. One player's inserted into Mini. Stewie sprays through and catches KSCERATO. Art can find a lead. Vinny going to try bait in and force Stewie back into an off angle. Now Grim stands alone. He's already defended this site so well once before, but not this time. Vinny gets his double, and Naf and Fallen doubles for the save.
Oh, that was excellent to come through from FURIA. And even Art is thinking about hunting outside. You don't often see with a walkout from Squeakdoor that you're going to push through that main smoke, and that's exactly what he does. And even with that, they start scrambling the CT players. Vinny is waiting for one of those CTs to get back out to the default position and just catch them off from hut sleeping.
Such nice and patient play from him, and for FURIA, well distracted to draw their attention, force them back into the back lines. Art's hunt does not go well to Fallen's position, and I imagine that FURIA will just concede off the back of that casualty. Keep the AKs in with the 3 individuals that have them, and the money's not quite great for FURIA at the moment.
Terrorists win.
Start to build up the economy basis going into the last couple of rounds of this half. Liquid have money on some individuals. There's a pretty lopsided money line, so this buyback will leave Grim with not a lot.
Yeah, Liquid keeping it competitive up against FURIA on their map pick. And even that second half, you start to sort of wonder what FURIA are going to be able to bring on their CT basis. We know that for their T side, it does get pressed a little bit further, and they do find more so decent results on this basis than they do on their CT. Just try and keep it as close as possible. Another aggressive play for Art.
He gets the kill on a lead, but burns the Grim's Molotov. The smoke in from his teammates, not able to save him here. Fallen set with the AWP in the back lines. Grim gifting an AUG. He's got lack of utility. He's got 1 smoke left. That was the second piece in his arsenal. Watching the gap, and a smoke catches Yuri. Now got to reposition because the T's know where he is. But that's the one player out of the gates. Looks on towards open. Bensley's the second player and catches Vinny as well. 19 picks for Grim at this stage. A triple up in this round. And the bomb can go down to the B side, but it's a 4v2 for Liquid.
And no one playing on lower. Naf's going to be the first point of call in terms of rotating out from ramp. And for FURIA and KSCERATO, they need the unthinkable in this 2v4.
They do have information of the 2 players coming over from Secret, so the best that they can guess is the second 2 players are coming in from the ramp control. Decon's open, double doors open, flashbang evaded, headshot barely caught off by KSCERATO. Good kill on Grim. Blinded by the second flashbang, catch that second CT. Gary can come in with a flank and will catch on Fallen. That's a big frag alongside KSCERATO dealing with Nap. Stewie's got to close down this decon position. Back turn towards the next man, 180 flicks, not going to be good enough. And indeed, FURIA will find that miracle as they equalize 7 apiece.
Oh, they just peek off each other really well. They don't initiate those fights straight away. Flash comes through, KSCERATO gets that first pick, and then just the attention being drawn over to double doors allows that swing out from decontamination, gets Guri involved into the mix, and once it's a 2v2, they just start working the magic, they start working the timer, and Liquid just fall apart at that lower bomb site. What a great post planning from FURIA.
7-all. And fast rush out one more time for the FURIA side to try and close down this half. It's Stewie still with a 5-7. Gets that one frag. Elish close with the AK as well. He's going to pop forward. He can catch KSCERATO. No, Vinny's seen him and kept him at the edge of the smoke. So back to evens we go. A bit overzealous there from the Liquid side. Elish going to give up the AK and the man advantage.
Oh, they've got Naf aggressive out from ramp. How does he try and deal with Gary? Oh, the headshot. Well, it comes in straight away. The flash comes through, gives himself an AK.
So quick and clean. Counter nades involved. Naf's going to get out of dodge. So Liquid hold the 4-on-3. Once again, an advantage for them. Can they keep it this time? It's outside plays from FURIA as they scramble to find a new line in.
They've just got to be telling themselves, do not make over-aggressive risk, unnecessary risk. We've got the 4-on-3. We've got the AK picked up on Naf, who's got head armor too. And for FURIA, it all just comes to potentially this outside lurk and try to cut off the player at top heart.
KSCERATO trying to find a swing in, 45 seconds. Flashbang towards closed vents. KSCERATO going to check top of heart. Will you see Stewie? Yes, he will. Tap the head off the shoulders. Back to evens again, but Fallen has other plans. Scout again involved with a headshot dealt with by Yuri, and player in the back of the site. It's Grim with the FAMAS. He's got it back to the advantage of Liquid. Yuri does get the trade back. Where's the last man? Where is Naf coming in from the ramp control? Did he hear a footstep? Does he just have a good read? 20 seconds. Either way, he's running out of time. It's back behind the site itself. No info still on Naf's angle. And we'll tap it again. Try force a peek. 10, 9. Time's running out. He's got to go for the plant now.
Naf has now got the element of surprise. Can start peeking forward onto the site. Yuri, which way does he look? Left or right? It all comes down to the timing. Looking back over to the left. Oh! He jumps up as he sprays. Mouse wheel up or mouse wheel down. Liquid are going to make it 8-7 at the turn of the half. And you hate to see it, Jay. You absolutely do in that situation. And he's even getting the BM out of there. Getting onto the defuse. Giving himself a couple of kills in the round. And giving Liquid the lead. 8-7 for them at the turn of the half. We go after the break.
From 11-4 down on Inferno to 7-8 down here on our second map of Nuke. And in being their pick of the Brazilian side, they've still got a little bit of work to do, but going into the CT halfway, the odds may still be in their favor. What's the chances?
It's okay. The chances are okay. They've got to be able to show us something from the start, be able to get this pistol victory. We've got the Julies and some util coming through from Art. And for Liquid, they're actually bringing the majority of players to this outside position.
Top of mini, outside defaults involved, trying to get in towards the Hell or A site positions. Grim will force one player off angle as they fire into lockers, bust open the windows, look for Gary desperate to find that frag, and eventually they do. KSCERATO not with responsive though, 2 for 1 on the trades.
Oh, the bomb gets dropped, and Grimstaff, the last one left, and they know exactly where he is, out in that Hell position. Bomb with the lower bomb site means that Grim's got to try and win a 1v4.
Surely it must be impossible. He gets one frag at the very least. And as great as he's been so far on 80 points of health, you must imagine this probably doesn't come together. Indeed, Yuri shuts him down, and it will be 8 for the pistol round for FURIA.
Liquid not having an easy time when it comes to the pistols at all, and for FURIA, great opportunity for them to start to follow up, get Gary on that XM. Liquid, without that bomb plant, you can't expect a force up. You're going to see Grim upgrade to a Deagle just because he was able to get that slight kill injection of the Glocks in that last round. Other than that, though, that is all we're seeing in round 17.
Pretty much. Liquid walking up towards the lobby positions. Going for a hard stack to the A site, rush it down. Trying to avoid the SMGs if at all possible, and the AUG of Yuri catches Grim. So that's a start towards the outside position, but again, Liquid all stacked up here in the upper positions of the lobby angles. Bit of a weird little T-side stack. I've never seen this one before.
You're just waiting for aggression, aren't you? Just cube stacking and hoping that they aggress out from Heart, hoping they aggress out from Squeak Door, and it just doesn't seem to happen at all. Now, with Grim going aggressive outside by himself and losing that Deagle, it means that for Liquid, there is no way they're going to be able to pick that up, so just waste the timer. When it gets low, just dive out, hope you can keep drawing utility, and if you can get a bomb plant, great. It's going to be difficult, though.
No matter where they go, they've got to deal with money-making weapons. The SMGs on the A site, Crossfire, XM1014 out towards ramp. They made noise on the ladder, so they realized that Liquid have gone back upstairs. They may be playing towards the outside position. Art's got a USP, which might not be the best weapon here, even if he is up against the anti-eco and the lack of Kevlar is involved in the T-side line. One player of Stewie jumps right in like Batman in case KSCERATO still cleans up with a triple and a quadra. 3 kills of the SMG and a lead gain now for FURIA.
I'm sure that KSCERATO is going to be hungry for that ace. Gets a 4 in the last. He's had 3 aces so far in the Pro League season. I saw one of them up against NIP on Ancient, one on Inferno, and on Mirage against Team 1. So he might get one over the course of this game today.
Rebuy in for the Liquid side. AKs across the T-boards. I'm going to get involved for their own right. Oh, good nade back of Liquid. I don't know how that happened. Did that hit like a pixel gap on the on the pavement, like the curb? That was a really, really weird smoke there of the CT side. Well, it's still going to create a bit of an angle for Yuri to work with. Finds the Legion, kicks things off.
Just what they're looking for, and even the AWP outside, not going to take any pop shots through the smoke. They're instead going to swap it over to give Yuri, the low HP player, the AWP. Naf hoping that he can strike out from this ramp position, because there is an XM in close.
Scary standing by. Squibble Naf defined. Oh, the swing from the AK does not allow it to get anything. 4v4, and the nade to follow suit on Yuri. AWP dealt with at hell, and such well placements there from the Liquid side. 4 on 3. Down in B site.
Jeez, they've recovered this well, haven't they? Great take out from that ramp position, and for Art, he is just desperate for a frag back rim. Oh, makes it another, and FURIA just getting picked apart individually now.
4 on 2, Liquid holding their own. Vinny and KSCERATO hoping for presence, seeing the head of the one-man. KSCERATO looking at Fallen. Can't transfer it back towards Stewie, who'll try anyway. And knowing that Grim's on site, Stewie catches off Vinny, so KSCERATO with no real opportunities but to grab that AK. Probably save it, go back upstairs, hold on to a gun, and give the knife back to Liquid.
And that is frustrating when you think of the advantage that FURIA had in that situation. The AWP outside, striking onto the first, being able to swap the weapon over. Yuri doing well to find that first kill, and then from there, the nade placement out to hell. Even the peek from Grim onto Gary with that XM is everything. And Liquid, they make it tied up. KSCERATO's just got to make sure he holds on to this AK.
Yeah, not much left for him in this round, so again, hold on to a gun. Concede that knife back to Liquid as they equalize against FURIA one more time. And do not allow this CT side to get going. And the lack of money really is going to be important. The fact that AK can stay in, he can drop the AWP over to Art. KSCERATO still rock the AK. M4 in for Yuri, less than likely for Vinny, depending on if he's got the A4 or the A1S. Goes for Famas with the utility and Gary on Deagle. So damage done in pretty heavy amount to FURIA. The second buyback, not quite as good.
Importance is slide on round 19, because otherwise Liquid could really start being able to spiral up a control, start building up a streak on their T side. Boost is going to come through for the M4 out from ramp. Some early util outside is going to allow Fallen to lurk.
Gets downstairs as Fallen looks into the secret control. The AWP could challenge him directly. Depends on how much info they heard here. How much does Art believe in progressing in that position? And we just hold the entryway. I think it's just going to be holding the entryway here. So back passive, waiting for even the doorway to come forward for Liquid.
But they are lucky with that outside cross into secret. There was a gap in one of those cross smokes, and there was no CT to punish. Fallen has got to try and bait out the AWP if he wants to continue forward.
No util to support him. Gives up the angle, and Art gets the kill. Gives up nothing for the CT side. Start for FURIA. And all the rest of the players of Liquid are in the lobby control. They go to A. It looks like they might do. And Lee's starting to pop his head out of the door. Look in for Vinny in the back. Does get a dink against his name. Look onto the second player. It's not quite as lucky for the second kill. Naf now being aggressed by KSCERATO. The sprays forward to the smoke. Big gap in that smoke for the AK to utilize. And Naf has no idea. Simple now to drop the bomb. Continue to spray back to Stewie 2K. As KSCERATO gets his own 2K. And Grim left with it all to do here. As great as he's been, it's still too much. T side on the A side, overwhelmed as FURIA find 10.
Just that slight gap in the smoke was all the punishment that FURIA needed to just overwhelm that round. And for Elige, they're just thinking to themselves, okay, let's walk out from Squeak Door, try and catch them off guard and just overwhelm A. And KSCERATO's just having none of that. What a performance he is having on both map 1 and on map 2. 23 kills and 9 deaths. It does pose the question, though, where is the support? Everyone else is not really anywhere close to him.
Yeah, he's probably one of my MVP picks for this series. Just because he's carried it over from map 1 to map 2 in such a stellar van of form. And even if you were able to lose it, he would still have those numbers to his favor. Numbers on the rest of the FURIA side. I mean, Gary's forgivable, obviously. Everybody else, though, as you mentioned, the one thing that FURIA kind of needed to do in the second map was to have another player step up to support KSCERATO, for him not just to be doing the hard carrying. And the end result could be a bit of a bigger deficit for FURIA at this stage, if that was the case. Liquid still hanging in there, though. 10-9, it's a single round difference. The Eagles out of the half-by round. Liquid have lost bonus to fall back on. Let's see where they go with round 20.
At the same time, the conversation could be made about Grim over on Liquid having a great performance himself. Where's the support coming out for him? Liquid just hoping to do some further damage up on the eco itself. Smoke coming down to that mini position. And these AKs try to spam through. We'll find some connection for damage into Grim.
Yuri getting paranoid of the outside control. Not sure if Liquid had crossed out towards Gary's. They have now. Took some damage and now focuses on the A side defensive itself. Art hearing the scout, deals with NAF. Great opener.
Lee's just clearing out this heaven position the best that he can. Could drop down onto the AWP. It all just comes down to a matter of timing on where Gary repositions to. Could get caught offside. They know exactly where he is.
The Eagle spam of Elige still can't connect the frag. Art finds Grim. Elige just find one pick back. Can't quite deal with the second. Actually, he does get Yuri in the end. So 3-on-2. Player up in the rafters, drops with the defuse kit there. We've got plenty of others for the CT side, but the rest of the pistol start going, falling down. Fallen will be the last player to fall. 3 frags Vinny in that round. FURIA hold 11 over Liquid.
Not much success coming into Liquid in the second half on their T side. They've managed that one round, and other than that, that's all that they've found. Gotta wonder when they're going to be able to bounce back. Double AWPs coming through on for Gary and for Art. Even in that last one, Elige working with the Deagle, getting away with a couple of kills, trying to keep the economy low. There is reset potential on a couple of individuals from FURIA.
And double AWPs with a heavy investment. Gonna come up good here for the CT side. Flashes involved, they look down range. Art's own AWP gets back towards Secret, expecting there to be some outside presence as KSCERATO sprays through with the squeaky door. The lead pumping forward of Mini, gets KSCERATO, takes a lot of damage alongside Grim here, so Mini's got a couple of decent kills back, drops on top of one player's head, doubles up, can't find Grim, who lines up 2 more, and the bomb does go down. Gary's got to get out of dodge. No way for this clutch, the AWP's got to save.
Jeez, what is going on in that round? There is so much firefighting going on and just players flying through. Vinny just getting lined up, and even though he gets a couple of kills, it's Grim on the return who's able to answer back, bring the disadvantage back in their favor, and give Liquid up their 10th. Grim is having probably one of the best new performances we've seen from him.
That's 26 now he's up to, close to that 30 bomb, and with how many rounds we've got to play still, even if FURIA are able to take the next 5, Grim could still find himself on 30. Truly a remarkable performance from him. The Reaper in a full effect for Liquid. As once again, they bring us back within 1. FURIA just can't seem to break away. They can't seem to gain a definitive lead here.
And that's the concerning factor for FURIA on their map pick, where success should be the most, is that they've got to be pulling ahead. They've got to be able to start pushing this lead further than a couple of rounds here or there. Even on the buyback to support the double AWPs, there's not really a massive amount behind it. Liquid, this is a great chance for them to tie up the scoreline.
Molotov's on, AWP's out, Elige. AK looking back into the cubby corner. We're going to continue pressing forward in the outside control. KSCERATO's AUG set back. Elige gonna make a hell of a lot of noise here, and Take some damage to that Molotov. The CTs might be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, very silent. You got to wonder how quick this Rapper's going to be coming in and how this Crossfire is going to get set up.
Molotov's a credit card. KSCERATO going to get a bit more aggressive here in Garage. Stewie does get caught with his knife down. Not expecting that player to be so close. Art with the AWP. Frags on a leash. 5v3. FURIA so far untraded and unscathed, and the right rifles are coming at the right times. Flashbangs back in. What more can he get? Land on Fallen. Try look for Grim. He's a little bit too late to rescope back in. But Yuri catches Nap on the upstairs. Now it's down to the downstairs players, and Gary still gets caught. So 3v2 rifles to play with for FURIA. The bomb plant will come in for Fallen.
Yeah, he's going to go quite aggressive, knowing that he's on 20 points of health. It's going to come down to Grim to just be able to bait the Crossfire, and there's a lot of footsteps being heard out at ramp.
Yeah, Fallen's heard all the info. He knows that there's 3 sets. He knows that there's 3 players out here, so Grim can start taking face. C1 player, awkward spray comes up, good for his 3K. That's going to have to ace clutch this once again. He's got high HP, cannot see Vinny. The kit's on him, bomb in the open, he sprays forward. The kill is not coming on the first player, let alone the transfer to the second. And the defuse will come out for FURIA instead as they claim 12.
Nice try. That's a good effort coming into Grim. They will get that defuse forward, be able to recover that AWP. Can they get over to the second in time? No, they're just going to go for the AUG instead. Oh, man, that is a close one. FURIA making so much noise out from ramp, and knowing as well that Fallen is only on 20 points of health, it makes that retake just so much more doable for FURIA, even with the man advantage in the 3v2.
Grim did such a great effort right there for him. The 1v3 was a bit too far. Nades up, flashes over Elige. Playing into the outside, Stewie caught off by Yuri again towards the outside control. Brilliant stuff to deal with these outside aggressive players from Liquid. No trades involved at the T side. Elige's going to get quite far up forward in this, but Yuri still gets his pick. 2 kills found.
That should have been a trade back for Elige, and Yuri just holds his ground. Gary with the AWP out from ramp could get overwhelmed by a couple of players. Deals with that first player, Grim, and FURIA, they looks like they're going to speed their way onto 13. Fallen gets a trade outside, but he's going to get swung on from Garage, and everything's falling apart. Naf gets 1 kill.
No more than that. Tries to get 1 more back on Vinny with a face out, but Tim with 1 frag, Gary with another. Yuri with 3 kills in that round. Now he's starting to really step up here to join Vinny on the top fragger, or second top fragger position for their squad. 13-10, and FURIA finally might find the breakaway moment, might finally end off this cycle of cat and mouse. 3 rounds to get the map in their back pocket to secure the likes of Nuke, to secure the 3rd map in the series. Liquid down to the pistols, Tech 9s and Eagles.
Not enough bomb plans for Liquid, and not enough consistency in the second half is hurting them the most. Just trying to work a timing on a rotation onto our out from ramp. The Deagles are posted.
AUG's watching and bursting forward here for Art. Hearing footsteps, not seeing the T-side player, interestingly enough, but still can catch off the frag on Stewie. Not quite the same for Fallen. Grim's also fallen to the hands of Yuri earlier on, and Lee just caught a secondary pick, so 3-on-3. Workable for Liquid, but by how much?
Hey, you start to wonder. Now, the bomb hasn't been dropped. No one's got armor, which is going to make the aim punch difficult with these rifles. And KSCERATO is even looking back in out from credit card. Doesn't take any damage in the fight at all onto Elige. Nafa's waiting for an overextension, an overpeak.
Naf. Double dip. Sees KSCERATO. A beautiful shot with the Deagle. But Vinny's on his own counter backstab with his own Deagle play. Sees the player, 2 taps, bomb dropped, Fallen. 1-on-2, herd towards Hell. Gary's got a USP out because that might be enough without the Kevlar for Fallen Deagle involved. The AWP doesn't even take a pistol shot. Not even need a scope. Straight shot, down, kill. 14-10 now for FURIA. Liquid starting to let this map slip away.
Yeah, for sure they are. And for Liquid, they'll be happy with the damage. There's been a couple of rounds on this second half where the ecos have actually come through very successful. It's just that rounds are not being posted. Down by a deficit of 4, FURIA need 2 more to take it over. And knowing that they've got an AK to work with from Vinny, these double orbs, and some limited money in the bank, things do look very promising for the Brazilians going into the second half.
AUG of Yuri. On the outside position, the incendiary set. Stewie. Some from the outside as Art start to press the issue. Will he capture these? Yes, he will. He's been so great at this secret control. Passive or aggressive, they all fall to him in the end. Advantage FURIA, minute and 20.
Another opening man advantage without any sort of support trade back from Liquid. Trying to set themselves up for an upper take. It's going to have to come down to the entries again out from Squeak Door.
KSCERATO's watching with the M4, bearing down upon that squeaky door. The door's been busted open. He's got 2 more CTs to back him up here. Got to watch those other entryways and Mini in the hut position, which means it's basically all players need to hold their own. Molotov will drive KSCERATO off, they over the vent, dives. Still Nap gets caught with the crossfire. KSCERATO credited with the kill. Falling on the bio lane back in, but Art still finds his man. And Gary now looks for his own or pick, sees the one individual. Not quite as great against Grim. Hears him coming, flips back USP against Ring of Rosies. Grim can get that kill. They now know where he is, and they know where Stewie must be as well.
There's only one player at this lower bomb site. They've got to try and get this trade onto Art. They've got to molly out to the back corner if they can place it right.
Smoke to give a bit of cover. Stewie going to start working in from the observation window. Art in the corner. He's got to land the perfect opening kills, and that's got to be it. Sees Grim, gets his frag. Where's Stewie? Right above him. Little does he know. Drop in. The AK can get a frag back and get the bomb plant.
Rotations coming in quickly out for the vents and out from Rams. Stewie's going to get the bomb down, so at least he's got that much. Needs to isolate the fights and takes it straight away onto Vinny. Can't quite win it out. FURIA getting up to 15. And Liquid just getting caught off. What a hold in from Art. A great multi-kill from him. And it all started off from him in secret.
And a map point to set up a great recovery from FURIA. The early part of this map was looking so dominant for Liquid, just like it was over on Inferno. But it doesn't look like they'll be able to secure the map itself. 15-10, 5 map points to play with for FURIA. Still looking great. Grim's got his 30 bomb. But again, Liquid have not formed up around him. They're taking a second tactical timeout. What can they do? What must they do to bring this back?
You wonder. You really do. They need a strike with opening man advantages. And you feel for Grim. The last time he played FURIA, they won the map 16-11 in CS Summit in the RMR, and he dropped 13 kills and 17 deaths. This is such a turnaround from the last head-to-head, 30-19. He has really been holding his way and pushing even further forward, and it still doesn't really feel enough for Liquid to try and get it to OT and get another 5 rounds.
Default utility out here. Liquid trying to play towards outside. Art's AWP repositioning to the silo position. Still looking towards outside of the spokes. Art up in an angle. Will he check for Stewie? Will he blind fire on Grim? Will he look out towards Mini? He won't see anything thus far. Liquid doing a decent enough job so far at keeping CTs at bay.
Yeah, Art just scanning, trying to wait for the smoke to bloom, and oh my goodness, that's the bomb getting dropped. That's the best that they could ask for.
Oh, tap from Fallen to come back against Yuri, however, clap back to a 4v4. Gapping out smoke to work with Art and KSCERATO, going to crossfire and deal with Fallen and Elige. Stewie and Nap bomb in the open, seeing the player behind blue box. Can't get attached towards him, just burst fire and damage being done. And Art can swing out to close it. The final kill goes the way of FURIA. The final round goes the way of FURIA. 16-10 as they take us to third map.
And a class performance in that second half from FURIA. They really brought the heat. They looked very composed, and I was very impressed that the Brazilians were able to strike in that kind of way.
Indeed.